What if the universe ends tomorrow? No warning, no time to prepare, just gone. Sounds like a sci-fi movie, right? But here's the crazy part. Scientists actually have theories about how the universe could meet its ultimate fate, from a slow, icy death to a sudden cosmic collapse or even a reality-shattering event that happens instantly. These aren't just wild guesses, they're backed by physics. And the scariest part? Some of them could happen without us ever seeing it coming. So what's the truth? Let's dive into the ultimate doomsday theories and find out how everything we know could end. The Big Freeze. Alright, picture this. You're walking outside one night and for some reason the stars look dimmer. Not just one or two, all of them. The sky feels colder, emptier. Now what if I told you that this is exactly how the universe might end? Not with a bang, not with destruction, but with a slow, agonizing freeze. Scientists call it the Big Freeze or heat death, and honestly it's one of the scariest ways for the universe to go. Right now, our universe is expanding. Galaxies are moving away from each other like people trying to avoid an awkward conversation. But the problem? They never stop moving. Ever. The farther they go, the colder everything becomes. Stars will die, galaxies will vanish, and black holes will eventually evaporate, leaving behind a vast, empty, frozen void. Imagine the last star in the universe, flickering like a dying candle. No more warmth, no more light. Just eternal, infinite darkness. Even atoms might stop vibrating, meaning time itself could just stop. Forever. But here's the real kicker, this isn't something that happens in an instant. It's a slow, inevitable process that would take trillions upon trillions of years. So, if you're worried about waking up tomorrow to an ice-cold void of nothingness, don't be. We still have time. For now. The Big Rip. Okay, imagine you're holding a piece of paper. Now slowly, tear it in half. Now again, and again. Until there's nothing left. Now, apply that same concept to the entire universe, except instead of paper, it's planets, stars, galaxies, even atoms. Welcome to the Big Rip, a theory that suggests one terrifying possibility. Dark energy could one day become so powerful that it overcomes everything. Gravity, nuclear forces, even the very fabric of space itself. Right now, dark energy is this mysterious force making the universe expand faster and faster. But what if that acceleration keeps increasing? What if, in a distant future, galaxies are torn from each other? Then solar systems? Then planets? Eventually, even your body would be stretched and ripped apart, atom by atom. And the worst part, scientists estimate that if the Big Rip is real, it would happen in a sudden, unstoppable chain reaction. First, galaxies separate. Then, black holes dissolve. Then, planets and moons start drifting away, until in the final moments, boom! Space-time itself is shredded, and the universe as we know it ceases to exist. So, while we might be safe for billions of years, if this theory turns out to be true, well, let's just say we won't see it coming. The Big Crunch. Alright, let's flip the script. What if, instead of expanding forever, the universe suddenly decided to reverse? Imagine watching a movie of the Big Bang, but in reverse. Galaxies stop moving outward and start falling back toward each other. Space itself shrinks. Stars collide. The entire universe begins to implode under its own gravity. This is the terrifying possibility of the Big Crunch. At first, it wouldn't be noticeable. The cosmos is vast, and these changes would happen over billions of years. But eventually things would get weird. Galaxies would merge in violent collisions, black holes would devour everything in sight, and temperatures would skyrocket as matter condensed. Now, picture the very last moments. Everything, stars, planets, dust, even light itself, squeezed into an unimaginable singularity. A point so dense, so hot that the laws of physics completely break down. Sound familiar? Yep. This singularity would look exactly like the one that started the Big Bang. Which raises the question, what if this isn't the first time it's happened? What if the universe doesn't just end, but resets? The Big Bounce theory suggests that once the universe collapses, another Big Bang could ignite a new beginning. A fresh universe with new galaxies, new planets, maybe even new versions of us. So is the Big Crunch the end of everything or just a cosmic reboot? We don't know. But if history really does repeat itself, the universe may be stuck in an endless loop of birth, death, and rebirth. Kind of poetic, isn't it? Vacuum decay. Alright, this one is pure nightmare fuel. Unlike the Big Freeze or the Big Crunch where the universe takes billions of years to die, this could happen at any moment. Without warning. Let me introduce you to vacuum decay, or as some physicists like to call it, the Big Slurp. Sounds funny, right? Yeah, not when you realize what it means. Right now our universe exists in what's called a false vacuum, kind of like standing on thin ice. It feels stable, but beneath us, there might be something more fundamental, something more real. If a quantum fluctuation or some bizarre high-energy event were to trigger a shift, a tiny bubble of true vacuum could form. And guess what? That bubble would expand at the speed of light. You wouldn't see it coming, you wouldn't feel it, it would just happen. 1 second the universe is here, the next, gone. The laws of physics would change instantly. Atoms would stop being atoms. Time and space would cease to exist as we know them. It sounds like sci-fi, but this isn't some horror movie plot, it's actual science. Some physicists believe that if the universe is truly in a false vacuum state, then vacuum decay is inevitable. The only good news? If it happens, we wouldn't have time to process it. No suffering, no pain, just poof. So, will we wake up tomorrow and find out the universe has been rewritten? Probably not, but the possibility alone is enough to keep some scientists awake at night. Sleep well. The Big Bounce. Alright, let's think outside the box for a second. What if the universe never really ends? What if, instead of collapsing into nothingness or freezing over, it just bounces back? Imagine a giant cosmic heartbeat, expanding, collapsing, expanding again. This is what scientists call the Big Bounce. It all starts with a big crunch, where everything gets pulled back together, condensed into a singularity. But instead of staying trapped, something triggers another Big Bang, a new universe bursting into existence, repeating the cycle all over again. And here's where things get really crazy. What if every new universe is just slightly different? Maybe in one version the laws of physics are the same, but galaxies form in completely different places. Maybe in another, the speed of light is different or gravity is stronger. And maybe, just maybe, there's another version of you out there living a completely different life. This theory makes the universe feel less like a one-time event and more like an eternal process. The end? It's just the start of something new, over and over again. And if that's true, then maybe this isn't the first time we've had this conversation. Maybe in some past version of the universe you've already heard this before. And maybe, just maybe, you'll hear it again. The role of dark energy. Okay, now let's talk about the real mystery here, dark energy. If the universe's fate is a movie, dark energy is the director. We can't see it, we don't fully understand it, but it's shaping everything. And depending on what dark energy really is, it could decide which of these doomsday endings actually happens. Right now, dark energy makes up about 68% of the entire universe. It's like a force that's pushing everything apart, making space expand faster and faster. But here's the scary part. We have no idea what it is. Is it a constant force? Will it get stronger? Or could it suddenly change? If dark energy stays constant, the universe might just expand forever, leading us straight into the big freeze. And if it gets stronger, we might be headed for the big rip, where space itself is torn apart. But if it weakens, gravity could take over again, pulling everything back for a big crunch. And here's something even crazier. What if dark energy isn't just controlling this universe, but all universes? Some scientists think that dark energy could be linked to the multiverse, meaning that whatever happens to our universe is just a tiny piece of something much, much bigger. So, will dark energy let the universe drift into an icy grave, rip it apart, or start the cycle all over again? The truth is, we don't know. But one thing's for sure, dark energy is the key to everything. So, is the universe destined for a slow freeze, a violent collapse, or something even stranger? The truth is, we may never know until it happens. But one thing's for sure, the cosmos is full of mysteries waiting to be unraveled. If you love exploring the mind-blowing possibilities of science in the future, make sure to subscribe to InnoVision Tech for more deep dives into the unknown. What do you think will be the universe's ultimate fate? Let's discuss in the comments. Hey, welcome back to InnoVision Tech. Have you ever imagined a robot that isn't just made of metal and wires, but also living tissue? What if machines could move, heal, and adapt just like humans? It sounds like something from a sci-fi movie, right? Well, biohybrid robots are making that a reality. Today we're diving into the fascinating world where biology meets robotics. So, what could these biohybrids mean for the future? Let's find out! What are biohybrids? Hey, innovators! Have you ever imagined a world where robots aren't just machines, but living creatures made from biology and technology? Sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie, right? But here's the crazy part. Biohybrid robots are already being developed today, combining living tissues with synthetic components to create machines that can move, heal, and adapt just like living organisms. It's not just the future, it's happening now. Biohybrids are the fusion of biology and robotics, opening up possibilities that were once unimaginable. Imagine robots that can regenerate like humans or move with fluidity that traditional machines just can't match. This incredible technology is merging the best of both worlds, biology's resilience and robotics' precision, creating something entirely new. So, why is this such a big deal? Because biohybrids could change everything. They could revolutionize industries like medicine, environmental monitoring, and even space exploration. The real question is, are we ready for this new frontier where life and technology meet? Let's dive into the science and see what makes biohybrids so unique, and why they might just be the future of robotics. Stay tuned as we explore how living cells can give robots a whole new level of intelligence and adaptability. The science behind biohybrids. Now let's get into the science. So how does a robot get alive in the first place? Well, biohybrids are all about combining living cells with synthetic materials, and it's more than just cool technology. It's a whole new way of thinking about machines. Researchers are using muscle cells, often taken from animals, and combining them with soft robotics. These muscle cells are cultured in labs, and then attached to robotic structures made of flexible materials like silicone or hydrogel. The living cells contract and expand, much like our own muscles do, which gives the robots the ability to move. It's a completely different approach from traditional robots, which rely on motors and gears to perform tasks. The result? A robot that can move more like a living creature, smooth, flexible, and much more efficient in tasks that require delicate, human-like movements. Some biohybrids can even adapt to changes in their environment, respond to stimuli like light and touch, and heal themselves when damaged, something that's never been possible with purely mechanical robots. In short, biohybrids are bridging the gap between the biological world and the robotic one, and we're only scratching the surface of what they could do. Imagine robots that learn, heal, and adapt in real time. This is the future of robotics, and it's happening right now. Real-world applications. Alright, now that we know how biohybrids work, let's talk about how they can actually change our world. These robots aren't just theoretical, they're already making waves in several fields, and their potential is limitless. Take healthcare, for example. Imagine a robot that isn't just a machine, but one that can assist with surgeries or rehabilitation by moving just like a human. Biohybrids powered by living muscle tissue could be used in surgeries that require a delicate touch, offering flexibility and precision that traditional robots simply can't match. They could help doctors perform complex procedures with enhanced dexterity, or even assist patients in their recovery by mimicking human movements for physical therapy. But it doesn't stop there. Biohybrids could also revolutionize environmental monitoring. These robots could navigate through harsh and dangerous environments, places that are too risky for humans or traditional machines. Whether it's exploring the deep ocean, trekking through dense forests, or even venturing into outer space, biohybrids could become our eyes and ears in places we'd otherwise never reach. And since they're part biological, they can adapt in ways that purely mechanical robots simply can't. Biohybrids could evolve to survive in changing conditions, making them incredibly useful for long-term missions in extreme environments. It's clear, biohybrids are the future of robotics, with practical applications that can transform industries and change the way we live. Ethical considerations. As exciting as biohybrids are, they come with some serious ethical questions that we need to address. After all, we're not just talking about creating more advanced robots. We're talking about merging biology with machines, blurring the line between life and artificial intelligence. So, let's dive into the big questions. Should biohybrids have rights? What happens when a robot powered by living cells starts to act and respond in ways that resemble life? It's a tricky question, and one that scientists, ethicists, and lawmakers are already grappling with. If these robots can heal themselves, adapt, and perhaps even learn from their surroundings, does that make them more than just machines? Should we treat them as living organisms with their own rights, or should they remain under human control? It's not just about the robots themselves, but about how we, as a society, use them. If biohybrids are designed for medical applications, could they be used to replace human workers in critical care or surgery? How do we ensure that their creation and use don't harm people or the environment? And what about the implications for the workforce? As robots become more advanced, what happens to human jobs? These are important questions that need to be addressed as the field of biohybrid robotics moves forward. It's up to us to establish ethical guidelines that ensure these technologies are used responsibly, balancing the incredible potential with the need for safeguards. The line between life and technology is becoming more blurred, and the ethical implications are as vast as the potential for innovation. The future of biohybrids. So, what's next for biohybrids? Well, the future is incredibly exciting. Imagine robots that not only perform tasks with precision, but also think, feel, and interact with the world in ways that mimic living organisms. Biohybrids could eventually have the ability to sense their environment, adapt to it, and even evolve over time. It's like giving a robot a brain and body that can grow, heal, and learn. Think about robots in space. Biohybrids could become the ultimate companions for astronauts on long-term missions. These robots could adapt to the harsh conditions of space, repair themselves if damaged, and even assist in tasks like navigation, research, or habitat construction. Since they're partly biological, they could evolve to survive in the extreme environments of distant planets or moons. And on Earth, biohybrids could be the key to solving environmental challenges. Imagine robots designed to help clean up polluted areas, using their biological components to adapt and heal, functioning continuously without the need for constant human intervention. In medicine, we could see biohybrid robots that can assist with patient care on a much deeper level. Instead of just performing tasks, they could become empathetic companions, understanding human emotions and needs. These robots might one day be capable of delivering personalized healthcare, understanding a patient's condition by feeling their responses, and acting accordingly. The potential applications are truly limitless, and we're just beginning to scratch the surface. With advancements in tissue engineering, artificial intelligence, and robotics, the possibilities for biohybrids could redefine the way we live, work, and interact with machines. In the near future, we might not just be relying on robots to help us, we might be living side by side with them, creating a harmonious blend of biology and technology that enhances both our lives and theirs. The line between the artificial and the living is disappearing, and it's up to us to shape this exciting future. Thanks for tuning in to InnoVision Tech. Biohybrid robots are just the beginning of a whole new era where biology and technology converge. What do you think? Are we ready for machines that can heal and adapt like living organisms? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss an update on the latest in science and tech. See you in the next video. Mercury races around the sun faster than any other planet, completing a full orbit in just 88 days. But did you know that despite this speed, a single day on Mercury, the time it takes for the sun to return to the same spot in the sky, lasts twice as long as its year? That's right, one day on Mercury equals 176 Earth days. How many people do you think are aware of this mind-bending fact about our solar system's fastest planet? What is greatest elongation east? Mercury is often called the elusive planet because it's so tricky to spot in the sky, hidden close to the blinding glare of the sun. But there's a special moment when Mercury steps out from the sun's shadow and becomes visible in the evening sky. This moment is called greatest elongation east. At this point, Mercury reaches its maximum angular distance east of the sun, meaning it appears farthest away from the sun's glare as seen from Earth. This event is a golden opportunity for skywatchers because it's when Mercury shines brightest and is easiest to spot just after sunset. Since Mercury orbits the sun quickly, completing a full orbit in only 88 days, it reaches this greatest elongation roughly every 116 days, giving us several chances each year to catch a glimpse. The angle between Mercury and the sun during this event varies between about 18 and 28 degrees, depending on Mercury's elliptical orbit, which means some elongations offer better viewing than others. To see Mercury at greatest elongation east, you'll want to look toward the western horizon shortly after the sun sets, ideally with clear skies and minimal light pollution. Using binoculars or a small telescope can help you spot this speedy planet as it twinkles low in the sky. This event isn't just a treat for casual observers. Ancient astronomers carefully tracked Mercury's elongations to understand its orbit and improve early models of the solar system. So next time Mercury reaches greatest elongation east, Don't miss your chance to see one of the solar system's fastest and most fascinating planets lighting up the twilight sky. Why is Mercury's elongation important? Mercury's elongation is more than just a cool astronomical term. It's the key to unlocking our view of the solar system's swiftest planet. Because Mercury orbits so close to the Sun, it usually hides in the Sun's intense glare, making it one of the hardest planets to spot with the naked eye. But at greatest elongation east, Mercury reaches its farthest point from the Sun in the evening sky, giving us a rare and precious window to see it clearly. This elongation is crucial because it marks the moment when Mercury's position relative to Earth and the Sun allows sunlight to reflect off its surface at an angle that makes it visible just after sunset. Without this event, Mercury would remain lost in daylight, invisible to even the most dedicated stargazers. Observing Mercury at elongation helps astronomers track its orbit, study its phases, and understand its relationship with Earth and the Sun. It's also a reminder of the dynamic dance happening in our solar system, where planets race around the Sun at different speeds and distances. For casual observers, elongation is the perfect chance to spot Mercury's bright, quick-moving dot against the twilight sky, a fleeting glimpse of a planet that's always on the move. So, Mercury's elongation isn't just an astronomical curiosity, it's the planet's spotlight moment, a brief but brilliant chance to connect with one of our closest planetary neighbors. How often does Mercury reach greatest elongation east? Mercury's rapid orbit around the Sun means it doesn't take long for this planet to reach its greatest elongation east multiple times each year. In fact, Mercury completes a full orbit in just 88 Earth days, making it the fastest planet in our solar system. Because of this swift journey, Mercury reaches greatest elongation east approximately every 116 days, or about 3 times annually. This frequency gives skywatchers several opportunities each year to catch a glimpse of Mercury shining brightly in the evening sky. However, each elongation event is unique. Mercury's elliptical orbit causes the angle of elongation to vary, so some appearances are more favorable than others. The timing of these elongations also shifts slightly with each cycle, meaning the best viewing windows can fall in different months and seasons. This regular rhythm of elongations is a cosmic dance between Mercury's orbit and Earth's own movement around the Sun, creating a predictable pattern that astronomers have studied for centuries. For those eager to plan their skywatching sessions, knowing when Mercury will reach greatest elongation east is essential to maximize the chance of spotting this elusive planet. So mark your calendar roughly every 4 months, and prepare to look westward just after sunset. Mercury's dazzling show is ready to begin again. This frequent occurrence reminds us how dynamic and ever-changing our night sky truly is, with planets like Mercury constantly moving and revealing new wonders to those who watch closely. Typical angular distance during greatest elongation east. The angular distance between Mercury and the Sun during greatest elongation east is a fascinating aspect that determines how well we can see this speedy planet. Because Mercury's orbit is not a perfect circle but an ellipse, the maximum angle it reaches from the Sun varies each time it hits greatest elongation east. Typically, this angular separation ranges from about 18 to 28 degrees, which might not sound like much, but in the vastness of the sky, it makes all the difference. When Mercury is at the larger end of this range, around 28 degrees, it appears farther away from the Sun's glare, making it easier to spot against the twilight backdrop. Conversely, when the elongation is closer to 18 degrees, Mercury stays nearer to the Sun's bright horizon, making it more challenging to see with the naked eye. This variation is caused by Mercury's elliptical orbit combined with the relative positions of Earth and the Sun during the event. The changing angle affects not only visibility, but also the length of time Mercury remains observable after sunset. At wider elongations, Mercury can stay visible longer in the evening sky, giving skywatchers a better chance to enjoy its fleeting brilliance. Understanding this angular distance helps astronomers predict the best times to observe Mercury, and allows enthusiasts to plan their skywatching sessions accordingly. So the next time Mercury reaches greatest elongation east, remember that the exact angle it forms with the Sun plays a starring role in how spectacular the view will be. Visibility conditions for Mercury at greatest elongation east. Seeing Mercury at greatest elongation east requires the right conditions, and knowing when and where to look can make all the difference between spotting this elusive planet or missing it entirely. Because Mercury stays close to the Sun from our viewpoint, it appears low on the western horizon just after sunset during greatest elongation east. This means you need a clear, unobstructed view of the horizon. No tall buildings, trees, or mountains blocking your line of sight. Light pollution can also play a big role. The darker the sky, the easier it is to pick out Mercury's faint twinkle among the stars. The best time to observe Mercury is typically within 30 to 60 minutes after sunset, when the sky is dark enough but Mercury hasn't dipped below the horizon yet. Weather conditions matter too. Cloudless skies are essential because even thin clouds can obscure this small planet. Using binoculars or a telescope can help, especially if Mercury's elongation angle is on the smaller side, making it harder to distinguish with the naked eye. Keep in mind that Mercury's brightness varies, so sometimes it shines like a bright star, while other times it's more subtle. Patience is key. Mercury moves quickly across the sky, so catching it during this short window requires timing and a bit of luck. With the right conditions and a little preparation, you can enjoy the rare opportunity to see Mercury glowing in the twilight, a fleeting but rewarding sight for any astronomy enthusiast. Difference between greatest elongation east and west. Mercury's greatest elongation comes in two flavors, east and west, and understanding the difference between them is key to knowing when and where to look for this speedy planet. Greatest elongation east means Mercury is at its farthest point east of the Sun, making it visible in the evening sky just after sunset. This is your chance to catch Mercury glowing low on the western horizon as daylight fades. On the other hand, greatest elongation west happens when Mercury reaches its maximum angular distance west of the Sun, placing it in the morning sky before sunrise. During this event, Mercury rises early and can be seen shining near the eastern horizon just before the Sun peaks over the horizon. Both elongations offer rare windows to observe Mercury, but the timing and sky position differ significantly. The planet's rapid orbit and proximity to the Sun mean it never strays far from the solar glare, so these elongations are the only times Mercury becomes visible to us. Whether it's east or west elongation, the key is to know when to look. After sunset for east, before sunrise for west. This difference also affects how long Mercury remains visible. Sometimes it lingers longer in the evening sky, other times it's a fleeting morning visitor. Knowing these distinctions helps amateur astronomers plan their observations and never miss Mercury's brief but brilliant appearances in our sky. So whether you're an early bird or a night owl, Mercury's elongations offer exciting chances to connect with this elusive planet. Why does Mercury's elongation angle vary? Mercury's elongation angle isn't fixed. It changes every time the planet reaches greatest elongation east. And, well, this variation is all thanks to the shape of Mercury's orbit. Unlike Earth's nearly circular orbit, Mercury travels around the Sun in an elliptical path, meaning its distance from the Sun varies significantly over the course of its orbit. When Mercury is closer to the Sun, the maximum angle it can appear from the Sun in our sky is smaller, resulting in a narrower elongation. Conversely, when Mercury is farther from the Sun along its elliptical orbit, the elongation angle widens, allowing Mercury to appear farther away from the Sun's glare. This shifting angle is also influenced by the relative positions of Earth and Mercury as they both orbit the Sun, creating a dynamic interplay that changes the viewing geometry each time. Because of this, some elongations offer better viewing opportunities with Mercury appearing higher above the horizon and for longer periods, while others are less favorable, with Mercury hugging closer to the Sun and setting quickly after sunset. This variation makes each elongation event unique and honestly, adds an exciting challenge for skywatchers trying to catch Mercury's fleeting appearances. Understanding why Mercury's elongation angle varies helps astronomers predict the best times to observe the planet and deepens our appreciation for the complex celestial mechanics at play in our solar system. So the next time you spot Mercury at greatest elongation east, remember you're witnessing a moment shaped by the intricate dance of planetary orbits. How to observe Mercury during greatest elongation east. Observing Mercury during greatest elongation east is a rewarding challenge that requires timing, patience, and, well, a bit of preparation. Since Mercury appears low on the western horizon just after sunset, your first step is to find a location with a clear, unobstructed view of the horizon. Think open fields, beaches, or hilltops away from city lights. The best time to look is within 30 to 60 minutes after sunset, when the sky is dark enough to see Mercury, but the planet hasn't yet dipped below the horizon. Because Mercury is relatively small and close to the Sun, it can be tricky to spot with the naked eye, especially if the elongation angle is on the lower side. Using binoculars or a small telescope can greatly improve your chances, helping you distinguish Mercury's bright, steady light from nearby stars. It's also helpful to know Mercury's exact position in the sky for that evening, which you can find using astronomy apps or star charts. Keep in mind that Mercury moves quickly across the sky, so you'll want to be ready and focused during this short viewing window. Dress comfortably, bring a chair or blanket, and give your eyes time to adjust to the fading light. Watching Mercury at greatest elongation east isn't just about seeing a planet, it's about connecting with the rhythms of our solar system and witnessing a cosmic event that ancient astronomers marveled at for centuries. So grab your gear, head outside, and enjoy the thrill of spotting Mercury's fleeting glow in the twilight. Historical significance of observing Mercury's elongations. Observing Mercury's elongations has fascinated astronomers for thousands of years and played a crucial role in our understanding of the solar system. Ancient civilizations, from the Babylonians to the Greeks, carefully tracked Mercury's movements across the sky, noting its unusual behavior near the Sun. Because Mercury never strays far from the Sun's glare, its appearances during elongations were some of the few opportunities early astronomers had to study this mysterious planet. These observations helped shape early models of planetary motion, challenging the geocentric view that placed Earth at the center of the universe. In fact, Mercury's swift and irregular path was one of the puzzles that eventually led to the development of the heliocentric model, where planets orbit the Sun. Over centuries, astronomers refined their calculations of Mercury's orbit by studying its elongations, which also contributed to breakthroughs in understanding gravity and orbital mechanics. Even today, Mercury's elongations remain important for both amateur and professional astronomers, offering a chance to observe the planet's phases and gather data about its surface and atmosphere. This historical legacy adds a layer of wonder to every elongation event, connecting modern skywatchers with generations of stargazers who marveled at Mercury's fleeting appearances. So when you look up and spot Mercury shining near the horizon at greatest elongation east, you're not just seeing a planet. You're witnessing a moment steeped in centuries of astronomical discovery and human curiosity. Fun fact of Mercury. Mercury is a planet full of surprises that make it stand out in our solar system. For starters, it's the fastest planet, zipping around the Sun in just 88 Earth days, faster than any other world we know. Despite being so close to the Sun, Mercury has a fascinating quirk. Its day-night cycle is incredibly long, with one full solar day lasting 176 Earth days. This means the Sun rises, sets, and rises again in some places, creating a strange double sunrise phenomenon. Another cool fact is that Mercury has a huge iron core that makes up about 75% of its diameter, far larger proportionally than any other planet. This massive core is responsible for Mercury's weak but detectable magnetic field, which is surprising given how small the planet is. Even more intriguing is that despite Mercury's scorching proximity to the Sun, NASA's MESSENGER mission discovered pockets of water ice hidden in permanently shadowed craters near its poles, places so cold that ice can survive despite the extreme heat elsewhere. Unlike Earth, Mercury has almost no atmosphere, so its sky is always black, even during the day. Its surface is heavily cratered and marked by giant cliffs and valleys, telling a story of violent impacts and geological activity. Named after the swift Roman messenger god, Mercury truly lives up to its name with its speed and mysterious features, making it one of the most fascinating planets to explore and observe in our cosmic neighborhood. Thanks for watching this deep dive into Mercury, at greatest elongation east here on InnoVision Tech. If you enjoyed exploring the mysteries of our solar system's fastest planet, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell icon so you never miss our latest tech and space insights. We love hearing from you, so drop your thoughts or questions in the comments below. What fascinates you most about Mercury? Join our community, and let's keep exploring the future of technology and the cosmos together. See you in the next video. The buck moon is more than just a beautiful sight in the night sky. It's a celestial event packed with meaning and history. Did you know that this July full moon marks the time when male deer begin growing their antlers, signaling strength and renewal in nature? This connection between the moon and wildlife is a powerful reminder of how deeply our world is intertwined with cosmic rhythms. Are you aware of this fascinating link between the buck moon and the natural world? What is the buck moon? The buck moon isn't just another full moon, it's a signal from nature that summer is in full swing and life is buzzing all around us. This July full moon gets its name from the time of year when male deer called bucks start growing their new antlers. It's fascinating how ancient cultures noticed this connection and named the moon accordingly, linking the cycles of the moon to the rhythms of the natural world. The buck moon has been a guidepost for farmers, hunters, and nature lovers for centuries, marking a moment when the wild is alive with change. Unlike other moons named for their appearance or seasonal events, the buck moon is all about growth and renewal, symbolizing strength and vitality. It's a reminder that even in the heat of summer, nature is preparing for the months ahead. When you look up at the buck moon, you're not just seeing a glowing orb in the sky, you're witnessing a cosmic calendar that has guided people for generations. This moon also stands out because it often appears larger and brighter, making it perfect for late-night walks or quiet moments of reflection. Whether you're a stargazer, a nature enthusiast, or just curious about the world around you, the buck moon invites you to connect with the cycles that shape life on Earth. So next time July rolls around, take a moment to appreciate this powerful symbol of growth and the timeless dance between the moon and the wild. Historical and cultural significance. The buck moon carries a rich tapestry of history and culture that stretches across continents and centuries. Long before modern calendars, people looked to the sky to mark the passing of time, and the full moons became natural milestones. Native American tribes in particular gave each full moon a name that reflected the natural world and seasonal changes around them. The buck moon, named for the time when male deer begin growing their antlers, was a vital marker in their annual cycle. But it wasn't just the deer that made this moon special. Many cultures saw it as a symbol of abundance and growth, a time when crops were thriving and the earth was at its peak of fertility. In Europe, similar traditions called this the hay moon or thunder moon, linking it to the sounds of summer storms and the hay harvest. These names weren't just poetic, they were practical guides for farming, hunting, and gathering. The buck moon's cultural significance reminds us that humans have always been deeply connected to nature's rhythms, using the moon as a clock to organize life's activities. Even today, these ancient names carry meaning, helping us appreciate the natural cycles that continue to shape our world. So when you hear buck moon, think of it as more than just a lunar event. It's a bridge between past and present, nature and culture, reminding us how closely our lives are woven with the changing seasons. Why buck? The name buck moon might make you wonder, why exactly is this July full moon linked to bucks or male deer? The answer lies in the natural world's perfect timing. Every summer bucks begin to grow their new antlers, a process that's closely tied to the lunar calendar. These antlers start as soft, velvet-covered growths that will eventually harden and become the impressive racks we associate with mature male deer. This growth phase usually kicks off right around the time the July full moon appears, making the moon a natural marker for this important stage in the buck's life cycle. It's fascinating how nature's rhythms sync up so precisely with the moon's phases, and how ancient people noticed this connection and named the moon accordingly. The buck moon isn't just a pretty sight in the sky, it's a symbol of strength, renewal, and the ongoing cycles of life. When you think about it, the moon is like a silent witness to the natural world's transformations, quietly marking the moments when animals grow, plants flourish, and the seasons shift. So, the next time you see the buck moon glowing brightly overhead, remember it's more than just a celestial event. It's a cosmic signal tied to the powerful, life-affirming changes happening right here on Earth. This connection between the moon and the buck's antler growth is a perfect example of how deeply intertwined our planet's rhythms really are. Astronomical facts. The buck moon doesn't just follow a random schedule. It's part of a precise lunar calendar that has fascinated skywatchers for centuries. This full moon usually appears in July, marking the fourth full moon of the year in the northern hemisphere. But what makes it special is its timing within the lunar cycle. which lasts about 29.5 days from one full moon to the next. The buck moon's arrival signals the height of summer, a time when days are long, warm, and full of life. It's interesting to note that the exact date of the buck moon shifts slightly each year, depending on the moon's orbit around Earth. Sometimes it falls earlier in July, other times later, but it always holds its place as a midsummer marker. For many cultures, this lunar timing was essential for planning agricultural activities, hunting, and celebrations. The moon's phases acted like a natural calendar, guiding people through the seasons long before clocks and calendars existed. Even today, astronomers and enthusiasts track the buck moon to connect with these ancient rhythms. So, when you look up and see the full glow of the buck moon, you're witnessing a celestial event that's been observed and honored for generations, a perfect blend of science, tradition, and the natural world's ongoing cycles. This moon reminds us that time isn't just measured by hours and minutes, but by the steady, graceful dance of the moon around our planet. Visual characteristics. When the buck moon lights up the night sky, it often looks bigger and brighter than usual, and that's no coincidence. This effect, sometimes called a supermoon, happens when the full moon coincides with the moon's closest approach to Earth in its elliptical orbit. During this time, the moon appears up to 14% larger and 30% brighter than when it's farther away. The buck moon's brightness makes it perfect for nighttime adventures, whether you're out for a walk, camping, or just gazing from your backyard. The warm glow can even cast shadows, creating a magical atmosphere that feels almost otherworldly. This visual spectacle has inspired countless stories, poems, and traditions throughout history. People have long been captivated by the moon's changing size and color, using these changes to predict weather or mark important events. The buck moon's light can sometimes take on a golden or reddish hue, especially when it's low on the horizon, adding to its mystique. This is caused by the Earth's atmosphere scattering shorter blue wavelengths of light and letting the longer red and orange wavelengths shine through. So the next time you catch the buck moon glowing large and luminous in the sky, remember you're witnessing a celestial show that connects science, nature, and human wonder all in one breathtaking moment. It's a reminder of how the universe's rhythms shape our experience, even in the simplest act of looking up. Buck moon in nature. The buck moon doesn't just light up the sky, it also plays a subtle but powerful role in the natural world around us. Many animals, plants, and ecosystems respond to the moon's cycles, and the buck moon is no exception. For example, some nocturnal creatures become more active during this bright full moon, taking advantage of the extra light to hunt or forage. Meanwhile, certain plants may time their flowering or seed dispersal to the lunar calendar, syncing their life cycles with the moon's phases. The buck moon's timing in midsummer means it often coincides with a peak in animal activity and growth, making it a natural signal for change and renewal. Even the tides, influenced by the moon's gravity, reach higher levels during full moons, affecting coastal ecosystems and marine life. This connection between the moon and nature is a reminder that the buck moon is more than just a beautiful sight. It's a key player in Earth's complex web of life. Understanding these lunar influences helps us appreciate how deeply interconnected our planet's rhythms really are. So, when you see the buck moon glowing above, remember it's not just shining down on us, it's guiding the behaviors and cycles of countless creatures and plants, quietly orchestrating the dance of life beneath its light. This natural harmony between the moon and Earth's ecosystems is a perfect example of how the universe's patterns shape life in ways we often overlook. Buck moon in modern times. The buck moon isn't just a quiet observer in the night sky, it sparks celebrations and traditions that bring people together around the world. In many cultures, this full moon marks a time of joy, reflection, and connection with nature. Some communities hold festivals to honor the moon's light, using it as a symbol of abundance and growth. For farmers, the buck moon often signals a crucial moment in the growing season, inspiring gratitude for the Earth's bounty. Even today, people gather outdoors to watch the moon rise, sharing stories, music, or simple moments of awe under its glow. These modern traditions echo ancient practices when the moon was a vital guide for timing important events like planting, harvesting, or hunting. The buck moon's role in festivals and rituals reminds us how deeply humans have always been linked to the cosmos. It's a chance to pause and appreciate the natural cycles that shape our lives, from the changing seasons to the phases of the moon. Whether you join a community event or simply take a quiet moment to look up, the buck moon invites you to be part of something timeless, a shared experience that connects us across generations and cultures. So when July's full moon rises, consider celebrating this luminous symbol of life's ongoing rhythm and the powerful bond between earth and sky. How to observe the buck moon. Watching the buck moon rise is an experience anyone can enjoy, but, knowing how to observe it can make the moment even more special. The best time to catch the buck moon is right at moonrise or moonset, when it appears larger and often glows with warm colors like orange or red. Find a spot with a clear view of the horizon, away from city lights if possible, to see the moon in all its glory. Using binoculars or a small telescope can reveal fascinating details on the moon's surface, like craters and maria, making the experience even more immersive. If you're into photography, the buck moon offers a fantastic opportunity for stunning shots, especially when framed by natural landscapes or silhouettes. Don't forget to check the exact date and time of the full moon in your area, as it can vary slightly each year. Planning a moon-watching night with friends or family can turn it into a memorable event, complete with stories, snacks, or even some music under the moonlight. Remember, the buck moon's brightness means you don't need complete darkness to enjoy it, so even a well-lit backyard can be a great spot. Whether you're a seasoned astronomer or just curious, observing the buck moon is a chance to connect with the rhythms of nature and the cosmos. So when July's full moon rolls around, take a moment to step outside, look up, and experience the magic of the buck moon shining down on you. Buck moon in astrology. The buck moon holds a special place not only in astronomy, but also in astrology, where it's seen as a powerful symbol of transformation and personal growth. Astrologers believe that full moons, including the buck moon, represent moments of culmination, times when intentions set during the new moon come to fruition, or when hidden truths come to light. Since the buck moon occurs in July, it often falls under the zodiac signs of Cancer or Leo, bringing themes of emotional strength, creativity, and leadership to the forefront. This lunar phase encourages reflection on what we've nurtured in our lives and challenges us to embrace change with courage, much like the bucks growing new antlers, a natural process of renewal and strength. Many people use the energy of the buck moon to set intentions, release what no longer serves them, or simply connect more deeply with their inner selves. Whether you're a believer in astrology or just curious about the symbolic meanings tied to the moon, the buck moon offers a meaningful opportunity to pause and reflect. It's a reminder that, like nature, we go through cycles of growth and shedding, and each phase has its purpose. So when you see the buck moon shining brightly, think about what personal transformations it might inspire in you, and how you can harness its energy to grow stronger and more resilient. This blend of cosmic influence and natural symbolism makes the buck moon a truly fascinating event to observe and experience. Fun facts and myths. The buck moon is surrounded by fascinating myths and fun facts that add to its mysterious charm. For centuries, people have woven stories about the moon's influence on human behavior, weather, and even luck. Some legends say that the buck moon's light can inspire courage and strength, much like the bucks growing their antlers. Others believe that full moons bring out hidden emotions or even strange happenings, fueling tales of werewolves and magical transformations. Beyond folklore, there are intriguing scientific facts too. Did you know the moon's gravitational pull during a full moon affects ocean tides more strongly, causing what's called spring tides? These tides are higher and lower than usual, impacting coastal ecosystems and human activities alike. Another fun fact is that the buck moon sometimes appears with a reddish or golden tint when it's near the horizon, a phenomenon caused by Earth's atmosphere scattering light. This colorful glow has inspired countless artists and poets throughout history. These myths and facts remind us that the buck moon isn't just a celestial event, it's a source of wonder that connects science, culture, and imagination. So next time you see the buck moon shining bright, think about the stories and secrets it carries across time and space, inviting us all to look up with curiosity and awe. It's a beautiful reminder that the moon's magic lives both in the sky and in our shared human experience. Thanks for watching this deep dive into the buck moon with InnoVision Tech. If you enjoyed exploring the mysteries of the moon and nature's rhythms, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell icon so you never miss our latest tech and science insights. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below and share your favorite moon facts or experiences. Join the InnoVision Tech community, and let's keep exploring the future of technology and the wonders of our universe together.